Hello everyone, this is Gibson Shamar from Hekate Media, here to talk to you about an ongoing project that we have in structuring the cinematic universe, which could have rivaled Marvel's cinematic universe, the DCEU, or as Warner Brothers officially dubbed it but was outright ignored by pretty much everyone, the Worlds of DC. The last movie we did was Wonder Woman. Now this is Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. How we would have done it, or how I would have done it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story I'm about to tell you. Open the movie with a terrorist group that is wreaking havoc in an unspecified African country, which is in the southern region. Lois is there as well and is meant to get an interview from them. Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman, and his comrade Jack, played by the Jack dude in the BVS movie who died in the beginning, are there as well, disguised as fellow reporters. In the conversation, Jack is discovered and shot dead. Rick fights off the terrorists while Lois attempts to get away to a safe zone. The terrorist leader captures her and holds her hostage while waiting for Rick. After killing all the present terrorists, Rick bursts into the room demanding the information on their source of weapons. The terrorist threatens to shoot Lois while guards outside close in on the area. Superman then shows up and melts the terrorist leader's gun with his heat vision. The terrorist leader has grenades ready that Superman doesn't notice because he's ensuring that Lois is okay. Rick notices it and tells Superman to watch out. Superman shields them both from the explosion. The guards outside then execute their prisoners. Very few manage to escape and Superman captures a few of them. Rick contacts his superior to tell them about it, but then the captured terrorists commit suicide by swallowing cyanide. Superman flies away with Lois and Rick is left behind after telling them that he was his own ride. There are news broadcasts over the events which take place, and G. Gordon Godfrey doesn't shy away from bashing Superman and the US Army on his show. He then brings up how Lex focused his efforts on rebuilding Metropolis while Superman has shifted his focus to other countries around the world. I have a montage, hastily edited by Godfrey, of amateur footage of Superman's deeds in different countries around the world. After the show people from different backgrounds debating about Superman and how he answers to no one, how there's no one to keep him in check, and how he could kill everyone and rule the world if he wants to. Bruce Wayne watches these broadcasts in his mansion, which looks like it hasn't been tended to in months. Alfred asks him if he would like to meet Superman one day. Bruce tells Alfred that he doesn't want to meet any Boy Scouts who care too much about public opinion. Alfred mockingly asks him if he will have any guests over and reminds him that there's an event that needs him to make a good impression for public opinion that's coming up. Bruce tells Alfred that there will be no guests because Bruce Wayne is gone. There is only Batman. Show what Lex had been up to with his time. He is congratulating himself with a glass of champagne which he is having all alone. He receives the general under his payroll as a guest who tells Lex that the army found a mineral when it was searching for parts of the Kryptonian world engine from Man of Steel. It is a green mineral. Lex goes to see it and sees that it can be tested in various ways, but he needs the equipment. He needs test subjects as well. It is revealed that he funded the terrorists in Africa and is interested in John Corbin. Cut to Clark Kent in the Daily Planet, and he is arguing with Perry about writing about the Batman vigilante who is killing people. Perry tells Clark not to get mixed up with Gotham, that it is a rough city and it is only natural that Batman went insane and started executing criminals. Clark insists that this needs to be addressed in the news and shown to the world. The argument ends with Perry walking away after calling Lombard to his office. He tells Lombard to cover the football game between Metropolis University and Gotham University and to take Jimmy Olsen with him. Clark has a talk with Lois at the ASOL clubs about the growing hostility towards him. Lois assures him that it will pass and that they will see Luthor for what he really is. Clark tells her that it's not the problem, but the problem is what he should do if someone else attacks Earth and the people don't want his help. Lois reminds him of what Martha said. John Corbin is a special forces operative under the command of General Lane, whom the corrupt general linked to Lex due to the defense contract, and he is shown with his fellow soldiers. The corrupt general tells Sam Lane about a terrorist hideout they discovered in Kurak. The terrorists are Bialyan, and the general wants to send a Black Ops unit to eliminate them to gain Kurak as an ally. Sam approves of the mission and calls Corbin to meet the general as well as Lex Luthor, who enters the place. Lex is supplying the unit with weapons he built and wants to know Corbin's face when congratulating them for success. Sam and Lex hit it off well, and Sam is shown to outrank the dirty general. Perry tells Clark to go to Gotham City to cover a charity event with the elites of Gotham about rehabilitating Metropolis, since Clark is so eager to go to Gotham. In Gotham, Bruce stands by his parents' grave, sadly looking down at them. He apologizes to them for being weak. He remembers the day his parents died and the thief showed up and told Bruce to back away before he got hurt. Thomas lunged at him and was shot. Martha was then shot as well, and Bruce remained there, frightened stiff. The place became known as Crime Alley. Bruce apologizes for failing them, lamenting having lost his parents and his son. He then leaves flowers on their graves and goes away, back into the desolate house, where he is shown working out in a montage. He then goes out on patrol when he sees that the bat signal is on. Lombard, Jimmy, and Clark take the same flight to Gotham, and when they arrive, they go to the same hotel, and Clark immediately sets out to work. He does some investigative journalism, looking for people to talk about Batman's vigilantism with. Meanwhile, two cops enter a whorehouse where there was a lot of commotion, and they come across Batman when they see badly beaten, broken, and branded criminals. When the police find him, they open fire on him and he makes his getaway. He gets into his car and makes a dash for it. The police call for reinforcements and other cars chase after him. Clark hears the commotion and follows, secretly using his powers to follow them around. Clark watches the whole chase and then watches as Batman makes his escape from the police. Clark returns to the hotel where he is rudely attended to. He gets his room and talks to Lois, who tells him not to pursue the Batman. Clark doesn't listen to her. Corbin is sent out on the mission, with Sam Lane supervising it alongside Lex. Corbin and his unit are ambushed and they are all killed except him. He is caught in an explosion and is half dead. He is taken by the terrorists, who are actually mercenaries hired by Lex. Sam sees the operation as having failed and walks away disappointed. That night, in Gotham, Clark attends the charity event. He tries to talk to a lot of the people there, but they all ignore him. Bruce Wayne shows up with a date, a very attractive supermodel. Bruce meets Clark and agrees to speak with him. Clark goes off topic and brings up Batman, which leads to Bruce insulting Superman in response. Clark calls Batman a murderer, and Bruce calls Superman a self-righteous hypocrite since he killed the last of his kind, but doesn't want humans killing each other. Their tense interview is interrupted when Bruce's date goes to him to take him for a dance. He goes away. Clark goes away as well. Include a scene where they announce that Bruce Wayne has donated the most out of everyone, and he is worshipped as a hero of Metropolis. Clark is disappointed by this news and takes notes before leaving. After the announcement, Alfred calls Bruce to tell him that there are some criminals who look like they're working for the Joker who are working on a big arms deal at the docks. Bruce leaves the event immediately, abandoning his date, seeing it as an opportunity to kill the Joker. Superman is shown flying over the city, looking for something to do, and the citizens notice him. Some even film him. John Corbin wakes up feeling strange. He sees his kryptonite chest piece and cybernetic body parts and freaks out before breaking out and killing everyone there. When he gets outside, Lex is there to congratulate him, along with the corrupt general. And they are in the area where Rudy was kept, which is now called Cadmus Labs. Corbin wants to kill them after learning that he was set up, but Lex tells him that if he dies, he will be outed as a traitor who went AWOL and killed his commanding officer, telling him about the cameras there, filming everything. Corbin relents, and Lex tells him that he can be a hero once more, as long as he follows Lex's instructions. The criminals in the port are attacked by Batman and a chase ensues. Superman gets there the same way that he did in the movie. The chase also happens the same way as in the movie. After the Batmobile crashes, Batman springs out and throws all he can at Superman, but Superman easily shrugs off all of Batman's attacks, which include all the still functioning weapons on the Batmobile, his handheld gadgets, and eventually his own fists. Superman is left unfazed and knocks Batman down. He then says, "The next time they shine that light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it." Batman then replies with, "Do you bleed? You will." And Superman flies away. Lex explains to the corrupt general and Sam Lane how he found out about the green mineral's potential. He experimented with Zod's corpse and found that it's deadly to Kryptonians and can be used to create human-machine hybrids that need a powerful energy source. He wants to sell it to the army, and Sam agrees to it. Lex comments with the corrupt general that he can sell it to the black market as well, and they can split the profits. John Corbin listens in on everything, as he is now Lex's bodyguard, along with Mercy, who is also his chauffeur. She remains in the car. Lex then orders John to kill the corrupt general once the general leaves, saying that he doesn't have plans for him anymore. John does just that, and we get a view of his fighting ability and military skills when he takes out the security detail at the general's house. He kills the general, and it is hinted that the green mineral that is his heart is poisoning his mind. Bruce gets to the Batcave and tells Alfred that he is going to take down Superman. Alfred argues that Superman gave him a second chance, a chance to hang the cowl, since Gotham City had taken a lot from him. Bruce refuses and says he won't let Jason's death be in vain and will take down anyone who stands in his way. Show a montage of him building the mech suit and designing weapons, then have Alfred interrupt him, telling him about a news report on LexCorp. They both watch it and see that Lex has discovered a mineral that weakens Kryptonian cells and that he is readying the US Army for potential future threats. Clark, Lombard, and Jimmy watch the broadcast, and Jimmy expresses concern over it. Lombard states that Lois wouldn't like to hear the news, and Clark gets a call from Lois, who expresses concern over what's going on. Clark assures her that it will be fine. Lex is congratulated by Sam Lane, and he knows about Corbin and believes that he can be a valuable asset. Lex agrees and states that he wants to send him on a true test run against Superman in order to see if the kryptonite really does work on Kryptonians. Lane agrees to it and states that Superman was last seen in Gotham City, which is where Batman operates. Lex smiles, having a sinister plan in mind. A montage of different debates going on about kryptonite is shown, with G. Gordon Godfrey agitating it as usual. People argue that Superman's weakness shouldn't be public information. Others argue that Lex exposed the weakness on purpose because of Lex's personal vendetta with Superman. Kryptonite is given its name in news reports. The people of Gotham see Superman flying around, and he puts out a fire in a burning building during the day. Bruce reads the article from the Gotham Gazette's newspaper, written by Vicky Vale. Bruce has had enough. He goes to the Batcave hastily and takes the Batwing. Lex is shown discussing the sale of kryptonite with shady businessmen, and he hears an alarm. When he gets to the storage warehouse of Cadmus, he sees that the kryptonite is gone and assigns Corbin to track down Batman when he sees the Batarang. Show a montage that Batman has amassed a kryptonite arsenal and have Alfred object to it all. Batman refuses. Jimmy and Steve head out to the game, and Clark is left to do things on his own. He calls Lois and gets some information regarding the theft at Cadmus. While on the phone, Clark notices that the bat signal is on and knows what that means. He flies to the building where it is as Superman and lands there. He sees that Batman is wearing the mech suit. Superman tells Batman to give up, and Batman uses all his traps, like the movie. Superman tosses him around, like the movie. Batman gasses Superman, like the movie, and the fight starts. Instead of it being Batman beating Superman up for 6 minutes out of 8 minutes, we have a layered fight that's a genuine struggle for the two. The football match between Gotham University and Metropolis University is happening at the same time, and each time there is a solid, proper hit by one hero, their respective city has a touchdown. And each time there's a sudden shift in momentum, there's a controversial tackle in the game. The fight becomes increasingly brutal, and Superman sees that Batman is no ordinary human. They debate their ideologies throughout the fight as well, but not like in MCU movies where it's 5 to 6 hits followed by dialogue. Make the blow exchange longer before talking, and it shouldn't be entire sentences. Superman criticizes Batman's willingness to kill. Batman denies having killed anyone and says that even if he did, that they deserve no less. Batman criticizes Superman's outdated views on hope and optimism, telling him that he thinks he can impose his rules on everyone because of how powerful he is. He left Metropolis to come pick on Batman because he couldn't handle Lex Luthor. Superman argues that the difference between Batman and Lex is that Lex doesn't do the killing himself. Their fight destroys the building, and they get from the roof to the ground, and the building is 5 floors tall. Superman eventually spits out blood, and the fight continues. Corbin gets to the building and rushes out of the car, has Superman weakened, and Batman dragging him and insulting him just like in the movie. At some point, Superman decides to fight back, and with a weak burst of laser vision, melts a large portion of Batman's mech suit. They're both down, unable to fight, breathing hard, and Corbin bursts in, blasting Superman with kryptonite rays. Batman takes cover. Corbin sees Batman and goes towards him, intent on killing him. He says that Lex is sending him a message. Superman gets up to protect Batman and gets pummeled. Corbin is about to deal the finishing blow, and Batman steps in, out of the damaged suit. Batman fights Corbin and holds his own pretty well. Corbin eventually gains the upper hand, and Superman steps in to back him up. Corbin is pushed back but brings Superman down, and Batman takes him on alone before being incapacitated. The two heroes get some distance between them, and Corbin and Batman deduces that since kryptonite emits radiation, lead might be able to help Superman recover, if they could find a way to cover it. Superman volunteers to keep Corbin busy while Batman finds the lead, but Batman says that he will do it. He goes to face Corbin while Superman searches for anything that has lead. Batman is cornered, and Superman gets there to save him and gets pummeled. Batman pulls himself up and uses the lead to cover the kryptonite and stalls for Superman to recover. Superman recovers and takes Corbin down. Batman and Superman have a temporary truce and go their separate ways, with Batman wanting to take Corbin in, but Superman insisting on doing it himself. Superman takes Corbin to Metropolis and drops him in front of Lex, warning him that he's now focused on him. Lex is unfazed and shows his kryptonite ring to Superman. Superman tells him that it's not over and flies away. Bruce tells Alfred that he was right, but that he won't stop fighting. Alfred says that Superman showed him the error of his ways. Clark meets Jimmy and Lombard, and they tell him that the teams drew because fans ran into the field, causing chaos. They head back to Metropolis and submit their work to Perry. Clark and Lois unite and go out for a date. Lex is visited by Batman, who tells him that his days are numbered. He should watch out, because justice is coming. Lex smashes his telephone after Batman leaves. Batman finds Superman and tells him that Lex won't be a problem much longer, and tells Superman to give Clark some evidence of Lex's dirty deeds, so he exposes him, then smirks sarcastically at him. Superman takes the evidence and looks at the drive. When he looks up, Batman is gone. Clark knows he will see Batman again. So there you have it, viewers. That's how I would have done Batman v Superman. I tried to incorporate as much as I could from the actual movie because some of the stuff in it made sense while most of it didn't. I just had to give Batman an arc that the viewers are fully aware of, the context of. That's if you watch the video on how I would have made the DCU Batman movie. Also, if you watch the videos on how I would have done Man of Steel 2 and Wonder Woman. I hope this at least gets positive reviews from you guys because my main specialty is coming up with stories. My series on how I would have made movies in the DCEU will continue. There's a wide, comprehensive plan that I have made for it. A roadmap, if you will, of which movies would have been made and how the overall story would have been. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave comments, subscribe, follow our Instagram and our Facebook pages. That's all the content we have for today. Have a good day.